Hello, Wired fam. What's going on YouTube? Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to another Wired for Crappie Live, where we talk everything and anything crappie fishing. All right. So, welcome back. Another Wednesday night live. Looking forward to it. Got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. Can't wait to get into some of it because, quite honestly, I am about up to here with my boat right now, and I'm going to vent a little bit tonight. So, you guys get to listen to me vent a little bit with my boat. And it's funny because I could get in the boat and pretty much alleviate all of my thoughts and doubts and wonders and worries, and I could actually put it on the lake and pretty much figure it out, but who has time to do that anymore, right? So we're busy. We got boats in the shop, we got boats outside the shop, we got about 13 in line to get in the shop, and then we've got guide trips booking. Thank you guys for everything that y'all have done for the channel and for this guide service and Wired Marine Electronics and everything else that is Wired for Crappie. So it's busy. It's just been really, really busy lately, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I'm excited about it. There's good things still yet to come, and I thank each and every one of you for watching and for following along and for everything y'all have done for Wired for Crappie and me. I am Wired for Crappie. There you go. So, anyway, let's see who all's on tonight. Don't forget, when you get on, drop me a hello in the comment section. That way, I can say hello back to you guys, and you guys know that I acknowledge that you guys are here, right? So that's what we're here for, is to give you guys some time to chat with me. And if you have any questions or comments or concerns, or if you went to the lake and you did great, tell me about it. If you went to the lake today and didn't do so hot and you have questions about it, ask me about it. That's what we're here for. We're here to try to make you guys better crappie anglers, okay? So, some really cool stuff to talk about tonight. If you guys saw the title for the live tonight, we're going to talk about fishing line, okay? We're going to talk about some of the things that have changed with crappie fishing, and continue to evolve and continue to change. So, it's exciting to see in a way, and it's upsetting to see in a way. You know what I mean? So we're going to talk about some of that stuff tonight. I got my OJ with me tonight. We got the OJ, the OJ original going on. Trying to slow down on the Mountain Dews, so we got the OJ with us. Trying to drink a little healthier than Mountain Dew all the time. Let's see who all's on. Kenny Hendricks, good evening, sir. How are you? Jimmy Pratt, hello. It's crappie time in Tennessee. Jimmy, did you get the stump out? That's all I want to know from Jimmy tonight. Did you get the stump out, Jimmy? Did the beast unearth or not? And I'll tell you guys a little bit about that here in a minute. Good evening, Matt from Carrollton, Georgia. What's going on, Ronnie Harris? Hello, hello. James Williams, good evening from Saudi Daisy, Tennessee. Good evening, sir. Terry Gear from Middle Tennessee. What's going on, Terry? Hope you're doing well, buddy. Tom A. from Pennsylvania. He says, hello, Matt and the Wired fam. Hello, hello. Donathan Brown, hello from Lenore City. Paul Gwynn, good evening from Chattanooga. Good evening, Paul. Todd Pell from Cherokee Lake. What's going on? Stuart Ferris, good evening, good evening. Heath McDaniel from Loudon, Tennessee. Hello, hello. Ron Knight from Texas. What's going on? Hello, Matt. Hope you're doing good. I had total hip replacement surgery 2 weeks now. I'm sure hoping I can get back on the water by the Teleco tournament. Virgil, good night. Total hip replacement surgery. That's serious right there. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I hope everything's going. You're up at 9 o'clock at night watching the live, so that's got to be good, right? It's got to be good. You're up watching lives. Hopefully you recover soon, and I hope you get better by the Teleco tournament too. Let's see. MVP STJ 115. That's a mouthful. MVP STJ 115. Hello from Maryland. What's going on, buddy? Oh, I just lost my spot. Hey, I got it back. What's up, Matthew? Hope all is well with you and everyone. What's up, Joe? Joe Nash in house. Derek Paget. Hello, Matt. Derek with Light Wire Hooks. What's going on, Derek? Eric Anderson. Good evening from Coreyton. What's going on? My old stomping grounds up in Coreyton. Hello, everyone from Steve in Rock Springs, Georgia. What's going on, Steve? Mustafa 78. Good evening from Albany, Georgia. What's going on, man? What are you into? Hey, I thought we were supposed to. Wait, let me make sure I've got the right screen name. I'm not sure if I got the right screen name. Anyway, I'm supposed to be going fishing with somebody from Albany at some point in time. I lived in Albany for a while and have some friends down there, and was supposed to go do some fishing with them, and hadn't heard whether we're going or not. But we need to get together and figure that out. Good evening, Matt from Kansas. What's going on, Brad? Jimmy Pratt. No, I went to church and prayed for all of my bad thoughts trying to dig that stump out. So Jimmy had a stump problem today. He was trying to get a stump out of the house and do some re-landscape his house and do some different things at the house. And the stump, I seen the stump, and I may have pulled on the stump a little bit with my 350, and yeah, the stump didn't come out of the ground. So anyway, long story short, um, I pulled on it a little bit. He pulled on it a little bit. We chained that sucker up. I'm telling you, that stump was stuck, boy. That stump did not want to come out of the ground. So dig some more, chainsaw some more, and keep pulling some more. That's about all you can do with it. Get a stump grinder out there. Grind that sucker. Eddie Toon, good evening from Lewisburg, Tennessee. What's going on? Stuart Ferris, I forgot to tell you, I'm in Southern Illinois. What's going on? Uh, I remember playing cards in the back of class. No, we didn't do that. We was good students, man. We never did anything like that in high school. We were good students, and we always paid attention. And we have kids now. We always were attentive in class, right? Uh, South Dakota. What's going on? What are you in South Dakota for? Just a fun trip or a fishing trip or what we doing? Jeffrey Smith, have you updated to the new update yet? No, I have not. Have not updated to the new update. I'm probably going to probably this weekend, maybe next week. I've got some guide trips this weekend, so probably leave everything alone till after those guide trips, and then maybe update it. But no, have not updated yet, but plan on it. Paul from Southern Kentucky, what's going on tonight? What's up? Hooked on Crappie. Hello from Kentucky. What's going on, Hooked on Crappie? Oh, I was sitting there earlier thinking to myself, you guys hadn't seen Little Wired in a long time. So, for those that have been following me for the last 3 years, right? Um, Little Wired is my youngest son. His name is Branson. And he had a rough go at life for the first, what, 2 months of his life. Was born, ended up getting an infection, spent some time in the hospital with my wife. It was during COVID, and they only would let one parent in the hospital. So my wife was up there. I was at home. Actually, Brantley, my middle child, had the flu at the same time he was in the hospital. So I was taking care of a flu kid. She was taking care of a baby in basically intensive care, and had a rough go. Man, he really did. But for those that have followed along long enough, he's still having his trials and tribulations. He's not. We didn't think he was going to ever talk. To be honest, we didn't think he would ever talk, and it wore on us. It wore on my mind. It wore on my wife's mind. We really got to the point where we started seeking help with speech and with doctor visits and MRIs and all kinds of stuff. Don't want to get into the weeds on it, but um, mostly got back good reports. Didn't really hear anything bad, anything negative that would cause you know, any kind of verbal or communication issues. And it just kind of got to the point where it was like, you know, hey, he's on his time, and, you know, he's on God's time. And, you know, we just had to wait it out. And anyway, long story short, he's getting ready to be 3. He is had his first haircut this week, and I cried. I'll be honest, I teared up a little bit. It's my last baby. You know, me and my wife, we're done. We're not having any more. Um, you know, Mrs. Wired is at the end of her rope with wanting to try to have kids. I mean, we're rounding off 40, if you can believe that. I don't look 40. I know it. I'm still sexy as a mofo. But, you know, for those that have followed along long enough, you guys know, you know, kind of everything that transpired and everything that went down, and just the um, the constant unknowing that we kind of lived in with him. But he is doing great. Um, I think he's probably upstairs playing music at this point. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if he's up here. He might be in bed. Yeah, he's in bed. We're going to leave that one alone. We'll have to get him on next week. Let you guys say hello. But he was in his room with the light off, so I'm assuming they're going night-night. But we'll get him on next week and let you guys say hello to Little Wired. See him. It's been a while since you guys have seen him, so we'll get him on next week. You guys can say hello. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the boat, right? The boat has given me heartache all week because last weekend I went to Douglas Lake and went and did some fishing. Really a scouting trip more than anything, but I did do a little bit of fishing, okay? So I went and I did some fishing, and we're sitting out in the lake and we're fishing probably, I don't know, I was there about 4 or 5 hours. And when I got done, I literally came back to the ramp, put the boat on the trailer, went to pull it out, and for some reason, my truck started slipping on the ramp. My truck never slips on the ramp. And I thought, that's strange. Why is my truck slipping on the ramp? Well, I found out why when I got to the top of the ramp. Does anybody want to guess why my truck was slipping going up the ramp? Any guesses? Drop them down there in the comment section. But, so I get to the top of the ramp. I'm like, why in the world was my truck slipping like that? That doesn't make any sense. I said, I got brand new tires on my truck. I didn't need tires. I got brand new tires on my truck. So anyway, we get back to the top of the ramp. I get up to the top, and for some reason, I started putting everything away. I put my motor toter on. I put my steering locks on, and I put my strap on the front of the boat. Nope, did not. I knew somebody was going to say that. Brad said, forgot to trim motor up. No. Nope. Nope. Bad luck. No. Well, yeah, bad luck. Bad luck is, yeah, it's bad luck for sure. Cable hung around the motor. Nope. Brakes froze on the trailer. Nope. That's not it. All good guesses, though. So I get to the top. Like I said, I put my motor toter on. I put my steering locks on. I put my strap on the front of the boat on the tongue. And then I go back there and I think, you know what? I'm going to pull the plug out. So I have a TH Marine plug that is screw in and screw out. Parking brake or transmission. Nope. Neither one of those. Flat tire on the trailer. Nope. Nope. Not parking brake. Not flat tire. None of those. So I get to the top of the ramp, like I said, and I got everything, and I got ready to leave, and I thought, well, I'm going to pull the plug out. There it is. Full of water. The boat's full of water. The boat is slum full of water in the bottom. And I'm like, now, when I say full, it probably wasn't full, obviously. I mean, but my Ranger, no, not Ford, Joel. Ford will snatch your butt in two. So I pull the plug and it starts draining water. And I'm like, what in the world? Where did the water come from? Right. So let me tell you about my Ranger 690 VS real quick. All right. So I took my kids fishing, my oldest and my middle child. I took them out fishing one day. We're out on the lake. We fished for about, again, 3 or 4 hours. Came back to the boat ramp, and I forgot to put the plug in the boat. Didn't even have the plug in it. We were out there. I had my kids in the boat, fished for 4 hours, didn't have a plug in my boat, never saw a drop of water in the boat because my boat's, again, it's a 690 BS, it's a deep V model. The water stays in the bilge. You never see it. It never makes it up past the floor level because the boat sits high in the water column because it's a deep V, so you don't ever see it. So I didn't know any better. So we fished all day, or well, 4 hours, with a plug out of the boat. Now, my boat floats with water in it, okay? This boat floats when you get water in it. Trust me, I've tried it. I've done it. I've lived it. I've breathed it. I did it, okay? It will float with water in it. So, anyway, but I get back to the ramp and it's got water in it. I'm like, where in the crap did this water come from, okay? So, it took maybe, I mean, I stood there and watched water drain out of that drain plug for 3, 4, 5 minutes. I mean, it drained. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I thought, how in the world did that happen? Okay. So, Wired Marine Electronics, Wired Marine, here we go. We're going at it. We're going to figure it out, right? So, we start pulling stuff out. We start opening it up. You know, there's my bilge right there. Okay. I got a panel in the back. It's got all my pumps and all my stuff in it, right? But which way? Right there. So, it's got all my pumps and everything. I can access the whole bottom of the boat right there, all my hoses and everything. And originally I thought, hey, maybe it was my live well because I did fill that small live well up, you know, while I was on the lake, and I let it run. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna let it run. Had some fish in it. I'd caught some fish, and you know, I figured I'd put them in the live well and take a few home, have something to eat because I don't have any fish in the freezer. So I thought maybe it was the live well, maybe something that came loose. Maybe automatic bilge pumps are nice. Yeah, I don't have an automatic bilge pump, but anyway, so I thought maybe the live well, something, maybe a hose cracked or, you know, a fitting cracked or something like that. So I thought maybe I sprayed it in there, pumped it in there. No. So I got back to the house. I filled. So what I did is I put the plug in the back of the boat and then I filled the entire bilge right there with water all the way up to the floor. I filled the bilge up. Okay. And, oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back. First of all, I filled that live well up and I filled that live well up. Okay. I filled both my live wells and I ran my pumps. I put it on recirculate and I ran my pumps to test all the lines, make sure all the lines were good, didn't have any cracks in them. No water, dry as a bone, not a drop anywhere. I ran the live wells for, I don't know, half an hour down here in the shop and they never leaked a drop. Okay. So then I got to thinking, because when you put it on recirc, it still runs through the same hoses in the system. There's about a 6-inch hose that goes from the pump to the back of the boat that I did not check, but can't check that unless I'm in the lake. So, you know, I guess that 6-inch hose could be the culprit, but I really doubt it because I took the hose off and there's no cracks in it. So I really don't think that's it. But the next thing I did after that is I filled the entire bilge with water. Okay. Put the plug in it, filled the bilge with water. Now, here in my shop, when I built the house, I put a drain in the floor. So I have a drain in the floor. Okay. Nice. Nice to have a drain in your floor. So I filled the entire boat full of water. And I sat down here for an hour just staring at the back of this boat, just thinking, okay, I'm going to find where the water came in at. Because when I fill it full of water, it's going to leak out where the water came in, right? So I'm sitting here looking at the bottom of the boat. And I'm thinking, okay, it's going to leak out of one of those pumps right over there. One of those inlets or outlets, it's going to leak out of. Nah. Didn't leak a drop. Didn't leak a drop anywhere. The concrete floor in this shop was dry as a bone. No water, no nothing. I mean, I'm sitting there just like, good Lord, where in the crap is all the water coming from in this boat? Okay. So I tell you all this because I'm still very frustrated. One, I don't know how the water got in. Two, I still hadn't found anywhere that's leaking or letting water in. Three, I thought maybe because last year, if you guys follow me, last year there's a seam between the top cap and the bottom cap. It's right here underneath this trim piece. Okay. Goes all the way around. I pulled that motor off, had it on a cherry picker, and took all this trim work off. Okay. And completely cleaned, sanded, and resealed that whole back side of the boat. So, and I'm thinking, well, maybe my seal came loose. So I pulled all that trim off the back of the boat and checked it. Nah, it's tight. That's tight as Fort Knox down there, son. There ain't nothing loose in there. I'm telling you, it's beautiful. It looks just like it did when I put it back together and covered it up. So I don't know. I'm sitting on the phone with Joel Nash at one point. I'm talking to Joel on the phone. I'm like, this is aggravating me. This is really aggravating me. I don't know what it could be. And then I literally got on my crawler underneath the boat and I'm looking for holes. I'm down there with a flashlight just looking for holes. I'm like, I had to knock a hole in it. There's just got to be a hole in it somewhere. I didn't find anything. I ain't found nothing in this whole boat. So the only thing I can conclude, okay, the only thing I can conclude is that one is I didn't tighten the drain plug tight enough because I always open it up and I always close it when I get to the lake, and I open it when I leave the lake. Just in case any water did get in there or anything. I always like to leave. Or let's say I hit a storm on the way home. Let's say I'm driving home and I run through a rain shower or a storm. I don't want the boat to fill up with water and carry it all the way home. So I always open my drain plug. Okay. So the only thing I can conclude is one, I rather didn't tighten the drain plug enough and it let water in, or two, there was a little piece of trash or something in the drain plug and the gasket didn't seal all the way and it let water in. So those are my two. Those are my two conclusions because um, I think I bet I put 250 gallons of water in that boat with a water hose, and I never leaked a drop. I had water all the way up to the front, and I even lowered the front of the boat with the jack up front, lowered it where the nose was almost on the floor, and let it set that way for probably 30 or 45 minutes, and then jacked it all the way back up and put it all the water back here in the back again and let it sit back here again for another 30 or 45 minutes. I mean, I'm telling you, it don't leak. I don't know. It just don't. So I say that because I've been wanting to get back to the lake this week and put the boat in and just sit in the water and watch it, and I hadn't been able to do it. So it's aggravating the crap out of me. You guys ever had anything like that happen? You guys ever have a leak that you just can't find or can't figure out why it leaked, and you're just like, "What do I do next?" I took a deep dive into literally laying underneath this thing with a flashlight trying to find holes in it. And Joel's just laughing at me on the phone. He's like, dude, you just need to chill. Like, it's probably nothing. You probably didn't put the drain plug in all the way. You probably didn't screw it in all the way. It's probably exactly what it was. And I'm like, I don't know, but it's really ticking me off. So anyway, it bothers me. I'm OCD about my boat, and when something like that happens, I will literally go to the ends of the earth. But that's why Wired Marine Electronics is so good, because when people bring me their boat and something's not working, I will literally go to the ends of the earth to try to figure it out so that they don't have to worry about it anymore. Okay, so that's me. That's who I am. That's what I do. Like this boat right here that I have, that this Garmin trolling motor has decided it doesn't want to turn left or right anymore. Now the prop, I'm sorry, it'll turn left or right, but the prop won't turn on. So the prop won't turn on this sucker. And I've been in and out of that motor 3 times now, trying to figure out why, and still hadn't figured it out. But that's okay, because we're gonna figure it out. So I've got Garmin involved on that one, because it's like, what do you do? I'm leaning towards one of the boards being bad. So, because all the wires are connected. I've checked every wire connection in that entire motor, and it's solid. Okay. So, let's see what you guys got to say. See who's laughing at me. That happened to me. My main live well line burst over the winter. Yeah, that's what I thought. John, that's exactly what I thought happened to me. I'm like, all right, I got a live well line that has cracked, or I've got a fitting that's cracked, or I've got something, because I just rebuilt my live wells after the crappie season ended, the tournament season. I rebuilt my live wells. I put new pumps, new valves. I did not put new hoses, but I put new valves, new pumps, and everything, all new guts and new cables in my live well. That's something that I do a couple times. Well, I do it every couple years, and I literally thought that's what was going on with mine, but that's not it. It's not what it is. So, I don't really know what it is. I know it's aggravating, but I don't really know what it is. So, or what it was. But hey, I tell you what, next time we're on the lake, we're going to run both live wells. We're going to open the bilge up. We're going to take the panel off, take the battery off, run the live wells. We're going to figure it out. I promise you. We're going to see if we can get it to leak. We're going to do everything we can to get it to leak, just to see if we can make it leak. And I think it was probably operator error with the drain plug, to be honest with you. So that's what I'm leaning towards. Don't you remember last week I told you I was going to drill a hole in the bottom? Yeah, I thought about that too. Carrying all that material up that hill. Yeah, I thought about that. I literally did. I actually told Joel on the phone, I was like, Jimmy said he's going to drill a hole in my boat. Where in the crap did he put this hole at? I was looking, boy. I thought, surely to God he didn't get it in my garage somehow. I thought, there ain't no way he made it in this shop. But yeah, I was looking. I had a hole on bottom of the boat hidden where the bunks sit. Had to lift off the trailer to see it. Just an idea. Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing. I kind of thought, that's possible. Maybe something's happened under one of the bunks. But there again, if something had happened under one of the bunks, if I filled the boat up with water, you should have seen the bunks start dripping. Because as long as I left the water in the bottom of the boat, it should have started dripping off one of the bunks somewhere. Because my bunks are carpeted, so the carpet wouldn't plug the hole. It would soak through the carpet and eventually start dripping off one of the bunks, and it did not. So there again, I don't think that there's a hole underneath one of the bunks. I kind of thought the same thing, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, if we go back on the lake and it leaks again, then we got something going on. You know what I mean? I guess it's always possible that I hit something in the lake that day and put a hole in the bottom of it, but who knows? My boat live well overflows was broke inside the boat. My boat live well overflow was broke inside the boat. Yeah, again, I kind of leaned that way of the live wells as well, and didn't get anywhere with that. So they were good. Roadhouse had the same issue on my Triton. Couldn't find the leak forever. It was the main live well hose. Hope you find your problem soon. I hope so too. We're gonna try our best. My Garmin trolling motor had that issue and sent it back to Garmin. They concluded that the magnetic servo went bad on it. Yeah, I thought about that as well. Hey, where's Branson? Is he sleeping? Bring him down here a minute. Please. You want me to come up there? Yeah, that's what I'm waiting on Garmin. I'm waiting on Garmin to tell me what their thoughts are. Hopefully I'll get a call tomorrow. Just be glad you stayed afloat. Yeah, I am glad we stayed afloat. Live well overflowed? Question mark. Honestly, I don't think my live well can overflow because there's a drain that goes out the side of the boat. Okay, and it's like a 1-inch hole. So, and it drains 5 inches from the top of the live well. So I really don't think it can. I thought that too, but that is actually the overflow for the live well. Okay, so it just fills up and comes out. So I really don't think that it could be that. Hey, Boo, come here, buddy. Come here. Say hi. Say hello. Says Lil Wired. Yay, that's you. That's you. Is that silly? That's all right, go back upstairs. Go back upstairs. Go up the stairs. Bye, buddy. There he was. Little Wired. He's getting big. He looks like a little boy now. It's scary. He got his hair cut. He had the longest hair, the longest little blonde hair you'd ever seen. It started to look like a little girl. We took him and got his hair cut. But again, he was kind of our last baby, and we kind of know that, and it's bittersweet. But hey, it's all right. But yeah, I don't think it was alive well. We'll see. I will update you guys once I get back on the water. Like I said, I've got a guide trip. I've got 2 guide trips Saturday, and 1 Sunday. So we're gonna find out because I'm gonna get on the water before I go take people out. That's for sure. I don't like problems when I have clients in the boat. That's for sure. We're not gonna do that. So, but I will update you guys next week on what I find because I'm going to get to the lake here in the next day or two for sure, 100%, without a doubt, going to happen. You must have caught too many crappie. That's what I'm talking about. I'm starting to think that the crappie. Maybe I caught some of them and they started pecking at the bottom of the boat and they put a hole in the bottom of the boat. Maybe the crappie are trying to sabotage me where I can't get back out on the water, but I don't know. We'll see. Again, I'm leaning more towards operator error with the drain plug than I am anything else. That's what I'm leaning towards. Just wait until you have grandkids. They are great. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I'm looking forward to grandkids. Juice them up and send them home. Always tell them yes, never tell them no, and send them home and let the parents deal with it. That's what I'm looking forward to. Let my kids take care of it. Guide trip with inclusive snorkeling lessons. There you go. Yeah, doggy paddle lessons. Just stay afloat. Help is on the way. We're going to learn to tread water today. So it's going to be a crappie trip with a water treading lesson until help arrives. That's pretty good. So let's talk a little bit about little bit about fishing line. Now we've talked about everything else. Let's talk a little bit about fishing line. So the funny thing is, and most of you guys, when you started crappie fishing, and may still, just use something like this right here that looks nice and shiny yellow and bright and pretty, and they call it mono. Does anybody know anymore what mono is? Monofilament line. Does anybody remember what monofilament line is? Starting to wonder, because man, there's been this huge evolution of line in crappie fishing. Okay, if you guys hadn't noticed or hadn't seen yet, by the way, while we're starting to talk about where's my banner at? Where's my banners? Oh my goodness, the discount codes. Everybody remember the discount codes. 10% off fishing specialties with code WIRED. Stowaway mounts for your units up front. Stowaway mounts, 10% off with code WIRED. 15% off bonehead tackle, crappie 2024. Make sure you take advantage of those discount codes, guys. They're there to save you guys money, okay? And if you hadn't seen it yet, ACC Crappie Sticks has come out with a fishing line. They have mono, fluoro, braid, everything, okay? So you can go check them out, accrappiesticks.com. Get you some of their line. It's good stuff. I've had it now for... how long have I had this? I guess I've been testing it for about 6-8 months. I've got it on a few rods. Run it on guide trips quite often. I have not ran it in tournaments yet, but I haven't ran it in tournaments because, when you're testing something out, tournament situations is not the best time to run something that you're testing. Okay, prototypes are not the best thing to run in a tournament. So hadn't really tournament fished with it yet, but I have run it in a lot of guide trips and a lot of fun fishing, and it's a great line. It really is. So check it out on the website, pick some up, give it a try. Okay, give it a try. Get you a spool of mono and a spool of braid and give it a go. See what you think. But there's been this evolution in line, or this change in line, for where the 4,000 yard spool of mono from Vicious, 4-pound test, is not what's getting used anymore. I mean, it's really not. It's really kind of cool to see. It's kind of a bummer to see, but it's kind of neat to see as well. because some of the simplicities of crappie fishing, some of the things that, let's say it like this. I'm gonna set you guys up there so you'll quit wiggling. Let's put it this way to you. Some of the simplicities of crappie fishing that I loved about crappie fishing, and the reason I got away from bass fishing was for those simplicities, for straight 4 pound monofilament, you know, shooting docks and catching fish, and being able to fish open water on brush before live scope came out, when other people weren't necessarily fishing brush um, like they do now. And just it being simple. You spool up a rod with monofilament, you throw a 16th ounce jig on there, and you go have fun and play and catch fish. And now here we are back to, bonehead tackle braids, and that's what I currently use is the B Power orange braid, which I'll probably switch over to green because they sent me a bunch of green, which is fine, dark green. Um, you got K9. I've tried the K9 braid. I've got um, several other braids that aren't right here in front of us. But the thing that surprises me is, or the thing that I guess not aggravates me, but the thing that, you know, I look at it and I go, here we go again, is most of your crappie fishermen now, a lot of your crappie fishermen have went to a braided line and are throwing a braided line with a leader. That's a vicious fluoro. That is a straight fluorocarbon, 100% fluorocarbon in 6 pound test. And, that's a 12-pound braid, guys. I mean, we're fishing with 12-pound braid for crappie. It's crazy. There's, of course, that's a 5 pound braid. So you could go as small as 5 pound, which, that's so thin. I mean, good night. That line is so thin. If you have the littlest, tiniest little gap in your jig head in your eye, that's coming out of it. But we're going from a simplistic type setup where it's just mono and a jig to backing a reel with mono, spooling half the second half of the reel with braid, and then tying a fluorocarbon leader onto that, 10 foot of leader material onto the end of it, and then tying our jig on, fishing with that until we get hung and break the leader off. And then we have to tie another leader. And oh my gosh, it's like hello bass fishing all over again, which nothing wrong with bass fishing. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I left bass fishing because of the work of bass fishing. And you guys know me, I'm not afraid of work, but I work when I work. When I go fishing, I want to have fun. I want it to be simplistic. I want it to be. Now, somebody's going to say, well, Matt, you can use mono. You don't have to use braid. Well, I get that. But with live scope and being a competitive angler, being a tournament angler, with live scope available and competing against guys that are now moving further and further offshore and catching those fish, the bigger fish, deeper and deeper, yeah, you kind of have to use braid. I mean, if you're fishing in 40 foot of water, if you're catching fish that are 40 foot deep in the water column, okay, monofilament is not what you want to have on your jig or on your rod attached to your jig, okay? Because mono, you can't feel crap at 40 feet deep. Let me tell you something. That fish comes up and hits that mono at 40 feet deep, and you're going to be like, was that a bite? I think it was. There's a little weight there. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's a fish. Braid, okay. Fish bites at 40 feet. If you swim a jig by a fish and he burps, you feel it on that braid. Okay. If he doesn't even hit your jig, if that jig goes by his face and he goes, you're going to feel it. I mean, that's how sensitive braid is. And I'm not saying that the B Power bonehead braid is any more sensitive than any other braid, but braid is super, super sensitive. First of all, it doesn't It doesn't have any stretch. Your hook setup, your hook set ratio, getting a good solid hook set goes through the roof. I still have the bass jerk. I'm still guilty of the bass jerk for some of those deeper fish. I mean, I rear back and set on them, boy. I'm telling you right now, I rear back and heave ho on them. But the let me make sure we're not running out of juice here. Okay, we're not. So I still run back. I still rear back and heave ho on some of those fish. And you don't have to with braid because braid doesn't have any stretch. Fluorocarbon, if you go straight fluoro, which I do have some reels with straight fluorocarbon on them, when I fish lakes like Del Holla is just straight fluorocarbon, 6 pound for me. Um, you could probably get away with a longer leader, 15 or 20 foot leader, but for the most part, I throw straight fluoro. So no stretch. Fluorocarbon has a medium stretch, and then mono is stretch city. It's going to stretch so much when you set the hook. You're 40 foot deep trying to set the hook on a fish, especially a big fish that's got a good tough mouth. I mean, some of those smaller fish, the roof of their mouth just isn't as big. You get you a good 2 pound fish and you try to drive a hook through the top of his mouth with mono at 40 feet deep. It's going to be a little bit tough, especially if you're casting to them and you're 40 feet out in front of you and 40 feet down. You got 80 feet of line out, give or take. That's probably not proper math with the angle and all that good stuff, but you guys get the picture. Um, Setting that hook on that fish with monofilament is going to be tough. I laugh at my tournament partner. Josh Sanders is not on here tonight. I hadn't seen him, but I laugh at him all the time because he he'll fish with mono. He's got one rod that's got mono on it, and he'll fish. I'll see him fishing with it, and I'm like, good Lord. And he'll go to set the hook, and he sets the hook, and the hook set starts at his belly button, and it comes all the way back to here. And I'm like, and when the rod bows, he goes so far back that the rod will turn sideways. So it goes from bowing this way to bowing this way. He goes so far back that the rod bends the other direction. It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. I laugh. Oh, I laugh. I bet you I've got some of it on my videos. If you go watch my tournament videos with Josh and I guarantee you will see a hook set from him that does that. I guarantee it. It's hilarious. So anyway, it's just not where it's at anymore. It's just, um, again, especially competitive tournament fishing, when you're fishing deep for those fish, you really, really, really have to go with braid. And braid has also helped my guiding as well because I don't typically tie a leader when I guide. I go straight braid to the jig head, and I can pull jigs out of the brush without breaking off. Okay, so I can literally get down. I can pull on those jig heads and get them out of the brush, straighten the hook, or the hook. It'll straighten the hook, and I can take a pair of pliers and bend the hook back, and we can go back to fishing. But it's just it's kind of neat to see that transition, but at the same time, it's like here I go back to tying leaders and spooling half a spool of backer, just some cheap mono, some vicious or some crappie max or some kind of cheap mono behind it, and then spooling halfway with braid and then tying a leader on the end of it. It's just like, it's pain in the butt. Oh, very good question. Very good question. I want to talk about this one. Do you still loop knot with straight braid? So currently, yes. Moving forward, no. One thing about braid is it's got a very thin diameter. Okay, the diameter of braid is thin. All right, because it's so strong. It's so strong and durable. They can make that. They can make that line very, 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 very thin. All right. So because that's so thin, come here, get back in there. Because that's so thin right there. Okay. Woo-doo. Um, when you tie a loop knot, again, if you have any little gap in the eye of your hook, I can't tell you guys how many fish I've lost in the last year because they've bit. I've set the hook. I feel the fish, then I don't feel the fish. So about halfway through my hook set, I lose contact with that fish. And I've gotten to the point where it's happened so many times, I instantly know what happened. Instantly. It's instant. Um, I'll set the hook and go, jig slipped off. People look at me like, what? I'm like, jig slipped off. How's the jig slip off? I'll show you. Now I reel back in. You look at it. Loop knot's still there, perfectly intact. You can put your finger in it. No problem with the loop knot. Jig head slipped. I mean, the eye of the jig head opened up. Rather opened up or was already open enough to allow that loop knot to find a way to get out. Because when that jig's in the water column, that fish comes up and hits it, and it moves that line around, and you go to set the hook. If you get it just right, it will pop off. So I'm getting ready to go back, and I'm glad you asked that comment because I'm getting ready to go back to a fisherman's knot. Here we are again. Go back to bass fishing. No more loop knots, no more simple little. Now we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and back through the line, and back through the eye, and back through the next loop, and hype, and So here we go, back to bass fishing. So anyway, don't get me started, but it's funny, and it's kind of neat to see that transition. It's kind of neat to see everything go kind of, down that same path. And oh look, attaboy. That's funny. Uh, so yeah, getting ready to get rid of that loop knot for sure. Yeah. Let's see, where are we at? I have had my boat since 1978. My wife and I went out today today with it, excuse me, and caught 20 crappies and had it fill up with water 2 times. Yeah, mine will fill up with water and be fine. I just don't like it. I don't like water in my boat. I don't even like rainwater in my boat. I don't like water in my boat. I don't want water in my boat. It's supposed to hold water out. It's supposed to keep water out. I don't want water in it. So yeah, for me, it's like that's a no go. You know what I mean? You got to be the fun grandparent also, so they keep coming back. Oh, I'm gonna be the fun grandparent. I'm gonna be that one that's like, hey, don't worry about little Johnny. I'll pick him up from school. We'll be back at dark. Huh? We'll be back at dark. Where y'all going? We're gonna go spend. We're gonna go have Pop time or Pop time. I'm gonna be Pop. That's what I'm gonna be. I call my grandfather Pop. I'm gonna be Pop. So we're gonna have Pop time. Don't worry about it. We'll see you at dark. He's got school tomorrow and he's be home by 9. Yeah, we'll do our best. That's gonna be me. I can't wait. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait. Man, you need some crappie reapers up there. Bad. No. Yeah, I probably do need to get a few of them, put them up there. I really do. All right. Might have to try their line if it's as good as their pole. It's a good line. It's a good line for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I do need some crappie reapers up there. I need some of that gorilla juice. Some of the gorilla juice. I need to consolidate some of this stuff up here and get it consolidated and put some more up there for sure. Right now I don't have all my stuff up there. A lot of it's in the closet. But yeah, I need to get some of it put up there for sure. In all those years. Ho 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 ho. Yep, I use mono almost exclusively. Um, I used to, not anymore. Hello, all from Indianapolis, Indiana. What's going on? We answered that question. I have lost a lot of fish through the eye of the hook with 8-pound Power Pro braid. Yeah, I mean, if there's a little gap in that eye of that hook, braid will find it. It's crazy, especially with a loop knot. With a loop knot and braid, it will find it. It's crazy. Matt, give your thoughts on the powerhouse run and gun chargers, main charger paired with lithium batteries, cranking battery. Also, thoughts on separate batteries for all units. Oh, very good question. So, uh, the run and gun chargers. Look, here's Matt's paraphrasing for charging. Okay, so for charging purposes, the slower you charge a battery, the better. All right. Hang on one second. All right. So everybody always asks about charging, and this is I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Right there. Can you guys see what that says? 1.5 amp. 1.5. Okay. This is what I charge my batteries with. A little bitty trickle, 1.5 amp. Oh, there it is right there on the sticker. 1.5 amp. Okay. Trickle charge. Trickle. The slower you charge a battery, the deeper the charge will be, the better the charge will be. Okay. Most guys, and look, I can charge my battery to a full charge overnight with one of these. Okay. And I'm on the water a lot. Like I'm on the water for a lot of hours and a lot. And I can come home, plug this up, 1.5 amp, and it will charge my battery back to full charge overnight. So, for me personally, I want something that is just going to slowly and methodically charge my battery. And I leave that trickle charger on my boat at all times when I'm at home. Well, unless I've got it taken apart like I do right now. So that's a maintainer charger. So it will charge. And then once it gets to a full charge, it will kick off of charge into a maintain. And what it does is it will actually pull a little bit out. I think it's like 2% or 1%. It'll pull out of the battery and then it'll put back in. And it just kind of alternates back and forth and keeps that battery in a good state as far as maintaining the battery. Okay. So it maintains, charges the whole 9 yards, and I can just leave it. I can set it, forget it. And when I get ready to go lake next time, I can pull it off there and go. Okay. So to answer your question, the run and gun chargers, the larger quick charge type chargers, I don't like. I'm not a fan of. Most people, when they have battery issues, it's because charging habits. Okay. Charging habits is what causes 90% of battery issues. Okay. Guys will rather not charge them enough, charge them too much, put a too fast of a charge on them, use too large of an amperage charger, and it just zaps the battery. It's just like you or I. Okay, look at it like this: if we walk outside in the morning and it's 65 degrees, you're gonna walk outside. You're never gonna bat an eye. You're gonna have a short sleeve shirt on, pair of pants. You're gonna walk outside to go to work, and you're not gonna bat an eye. You're gonna go get in your truck. If you walk outside in the morning and it's 6.5 degrees, you're going to know it. Or if you walk outside this morning, it's 600 degrees, you're going to know it, So look at it kind of like that, as when you throw a lot of juice to a battery, it's like, whoa, you take one of these big amp chargers because you want to charge it in 30 minutes. It's just like, whoa, what happened? But you take just a slow, steady charge on that battery. It doesn't know what's really happening, and it's better for that battery. It conditions it better. Okay. So that's my recommendation as far as batteries are concerned. And to answer your question, as far as do I run separate batteries for all units, I do. I run separate batteries for all my units now. I've actually pulled my Lowrances off of my cranking battery. I have I'm running my Garmin Live Scopes off 30 amp hour lithium batteries. Running my Lowrances off 30 amp hour lithium batteries. So I have four, five. I have five 30 amp hour lithium batteries in my boat, which they're not, they're this big. So it's not like they're taking up a whole lot of room because they're very small. So to answer your question, yes, I'm running separate batteries. He said, thanks for the reminder. I need to put my zero turn on the trickle charge. With me going to be gone for a month. Well, you better go put it on the charge from the maintainer. You better go throw it on there, buddy. Once lithium batteries are fully charged on a no-code charger, should you keep it plugged in or unplug it? So lithium is a little different than lead acid. Okay, lead acid, if it has a maintainer on it, leave them plugged up. It's not going to hurt it. Okay, if your charger does not have a maintain function on it, then lithium. So lead acid, if you charge it up, let it sit there for a month, it's going to deplete as it sets. Okay, a lead acid battery will deplete charge as it sets. Okay, a lithium battery will not deplete charge. Okay, they hold charge. You don't have to worry about them. Lithium is not like lead acid. It's different properties. It's okay. You'll be fine. So, to answer your question, if it's lithium, you can pull it off. It's going to maintain its charge. You'll be good. Jackie, hello, Matt. Seen your new coming down Alcoa Highway Sunday. Looks really good. Thanks, buddy. Seen a new boat. Seen a new wrap. For those that hadn't seen it, I'll show it to you. If you didn't see the live last week, I think I'll show it to you. I'll try to show it to you. Too many boats in here. So we got the boat wrapped, and it's kind of hard to see it. Let's go up here. Bam. There we go. Turned out really nice. I'm really happy with it. Now, if I can figure out why water got in it. I think it's because this stupid idiot right here that let water get in it. But there again, we'll see. My boat's never leaked. So, anyway, all right. We've been on for about an hour. I'm going to call it for tonight. That's my thoughts for the week, if you will. And we've got, we've got 60 people on right now. So, we used to get somewhere up around 100, 110, something like that. But we took a break, right? We took a break for a little while. We're back. We're back at it every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. We're going to talk crappie fishing, and we're going to talk a lot of different things. So tonight, I wanted to touch a little bit on the line. Obviously, I wanted to vent a little bit about my boat. Obviously, I took 20 minutes to do that. So there you go. But, when stuff goes wrong, man, a lot of times when stuff goes wrong, it helps to talk about it. You're sitting there thinking about it. Somebody else has a different opinion than you do. Somebody says, hey, have you tried this? Hey, you tried that? Hey, they may say, hey, just like the bunk. Hey, I had to happen to me one time. I had a hole in the boat under the bunk. I want to check that out. Yeah, I thought about that too. If I could lift the boat up and check, I would, but I can't lift it up. I don't have the ability to lift my boat off the trailer. But we'll see, If it does it again, that's probably going to be where I look next. I'll probably take it down somewhere, take it to a shop, let them lift it off the boat or off the trailer and see if there's something going on underneath. So, all those things are good. And, I appreciate you guys for watching everything y'all did. Makes that Ford look a lot better. All right, Jackie, I hear you, buddy. I hear you. That Ford looks just fine. But yeah, it's always nice to have other people think outside the box for you. You know what I'm saying? So before you leave, smash that like. I appreciate it, Eddie. Thank you very much. And I'm calling it a night, guys. We're going to go upstairs, make sure the kids got into bed. If they hadn't, we're going to go put them in bed. And then we're going to get in the sack too and get ready for another work day tomorrow. So if you guys have anything after the live, after we're gone, please put it in the comment section. I will see it and I will answer your question if you have anything. So appreciate you guys for watching. As always, God bless. Hope to see you on the water. If you do see me on the water, come on over, say hello. I won't bite. I promise I'm the same guy on the water as I am on this live. Okay. So I'm very approachable. Come up to me, say hello. It does not bother me. I've had people say, man, I saw you, but I didn't want to bother you out on the lake. You're not bothering me. As a matter of fact, if I'm by myself on the lake, I'm probably looking for somebody to talk to. Ask anybody that I get on the phone with. I'll talk to anybody, anywhere, anytime. You know what I mean? So come by, say hello. You're not bothering me. I promise. And I appreciate you guys for everything that y'all do for the channel. Like I said earlier, couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you. God bless. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you.